Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to take a fascinating journey into how advanced technology is fundamentally altering the way we work, explore, and even play. We're looking at automation from a completely new angle. You know, when we hear the word technology, we usually picture glowing screens or mechanical gears, right? But some of the absolute most powerful technological shifts happening right now are entirely invisible to the naked eye.
So let's kick things off with a bit of a brain teaser. What do office workflows, space travel, and a cricket match have in common? It kind of sounds like the setup to a joke, but the answer is actually incredibly profound. They are all being rapidly and completely transformed by different forms of automation and smart technology. And how that tech is applied, whether it has a physical body or exists merely as code, is exactly what we're going to unpack today.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1. The software robot revolution, 2. The benefits of RPA, 3. Skybots, AI, and Cobots, 4. The digitalization of sports, and finally, 5. Smart tech in the game. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The software robot revolution. Invisible automation in IT. Let's start by looking at the invisible forces streamlining our enterprise processes.
Think about robotic process automation, or RPA for short. Now, this isn't a physical or mechanical robot at all. It's actually a form of business process automation where a software bot uses a combination of computer vision and machine learning to automate repetitive, high-volume tasks. These are tasks that are rule-based and trigger-driven. Essentially, RPA allows anyone to define a set of instructions for a bot to perform, mimicking human-computer interactions flawlessly and at incredible speed.
This is a crucial distinction. Unlike traditional mechanical robots on an assembly line, RPA tools are software bots uniquely suited for predictable, repeatable interactions with IT applications. Often, these routine business processes lack the scale or value to warrant a massive, costly IT transformation. That's where RPA comes in. It improves efficiency without requiring a fundamental process redesign. Entire end-to-end processes can be performed by software robots mimicking the exact way people interact with a user interface, leaving human workers to just step in and manage the exceptions.
Section 2. The benefits of RPA. It's really all about working smarter, not harder. You know, the benefits here go way beyond just cutting costs. Because these bots are handling everything error-free, companies are seeing decreased cycle times and absolute perfect accuracy. Plus, you get flexibility and scalability that manual labor just can't match. And here's a really cool side effect. It actually improves employee morale. By taking over the high-volume, error-prone drudgery, employees are freed up from much more meaningful work. Alongside all that, businesses capture highly detailed data that was previously impossible to track manually.
All right, Section 3, Skybots, AI, and Cobots. Technology takes a physical form. We're stepping out of the servers and into the real world. Get a load of this detail from researcher Basu. Russia's Fedor series robots act as all-purpose stand-ins for humans, doing everything from rescue work to driving cars. But get this, the next Russian Soyuz spacecraft is set to be navigated by a humanoid Skybot sitting right in the commander's chair. We're not talking about remote-controlled machines here. These are artificially intelligent robots with cognitive skills rivaling an actual human astronaut, flying directly into space. Now, impartially reporting on the source material, these applications extend heavily into military and security sectors as well. Artificially intelligent robots are being developed to identify wrongdoers through advanced face and outfit recognition. The sources note they will assist security forces with surveillance, battlefield strategy execution, curbing terrorism, and even potentially taking lethal action if need be. We're simply looking at the technological capabilities being reported here, which are projected to fundamentally change how future operations are managed. Let's bring things back down to the civilian manufacturing floor with Cobots. Roboticists have actually created this whole new genre of robots by applying the software concept of DevOps to physical machines. Unlike old industrial robots that had to be caged off, Cobots are designed to interact and collaborate directly with human beings in a shared workspace. They ensure faster delivery, higher quality, and cost optimization, all without causing a massive reduction in the human workforce. It's a true collaboration. Moving on to Section 4, the digitalization of sports, enhancing the fan experience. We're moving from the factory floor straight to the stadium. Technology is playing a larger role than ever for diehard fans. Today, fans crave exclusive, shareable experiences.
So, sports organizations are partnering with broadcasters and new distribution platforms to capture viewership across multiple devices, especially mobile. By strategically leveraging digital media to build direct connections, they're unlocking a wealth of real-time marketing opportunities and broadening the reach of their entire organization. And here is the exact sequence of how that tech drives real-world results. Step 1, they leverage loyalty and CRM data. Step 2, they use that data to tailor the experience to your individual fan preferences. Step 3, they deploy immersive tech like augmented and virtual reality to create an intensely exciting viewing experience. And step 4, believe it or not, all these digital exclusive experiences amplify the excitement so much that it actually grows physical stadium attendance. Finally, Section 5, smart tech in the game, revolutionizing the rules. Because this digitalization isn't just for the fans in the stands, it is physically entering the game itself. According to Bazoo, cricket enthusiasts will be thrilled to know that we are now seeing a tiny smart chip planted directly inside a cricket ball. Just think about that for a second. We've gone from invisible software managing our offices, to physical robots in space, to digital streams for fans, and now technology is being embedded seamlessly inside the actual physical objects used to play the sport. This one piece of technology fundamentally brings amazing advancements to the pitch. First, it helps umpires make highly accurate decisions based on exact, real-time data, rather than relying purely on human eyesight for incredibly fast-moving plays. Second, it gives trainers concrete analytics on the ball's movement, which enables them to train players much more effectively without relying on guesswork. It's a total game changer. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought. When invisible software manages our offices, humanoid skybots fly our spaceships, and smart ships call our sports matches, what uniquely human experience will we master next? Automation is undeniably weaving itself into the very fabric of our lives, both visibly and invisibly.
We're taking a journey into the invisible, yet super active network that surrounds us literally every single day. We're demystifying the Internet of Things, or as you usually hear it called, the IoT. It's a term you've probably heard thrown around in boardrooms, on tech blogs, maybe even on the evening news. But today, we're going to break down exactly what it means, how it actually works, and why it is suddenly, well, everywhere.
Okay, let's dive into this with a pretty unusual question, straight from our source material. What connects a farm animal to a heart monitor? Take a second and really think about that. At first glance, a cow wandering around in a pasture and a life-saving medical device implanted in a hospital patient, they seem like they're worlds apart, right? But as we're going to discover together today, they are both absolutely perfect candidates to become active, data-sharing participants in the exact same global digital ecosystem.
So let's get into it. Part 1, the what? Defining the Internet of Things.
To understand how on earth a cow and a heart monitor connect, we really have to look at the technical definition. The Internet of Things, the IoT, is a system of interrelated computing devices, mechanical and digital machines, objects, animals, or even people. And the key here is that all of these are provided with unique identifiers and the ability to transfer data over a network. So what you should really take away from this is that virtually any natural or man-made object can become part of the IoT. The only requirement? It just needs to be able to be assigned an Internet protocol or IP address and be able to transfer data. We have moved way past just laptops and smartphones connecting to the web.
Let's ground that massive, kind of abstract definition with those wildly diverse examples we touched on just a minute ago. A thing in the Internet of Things? Well, it could be a person with a heart monitor implant that's securely sending real-time health data straight to their doctor. It could be a farm animal equipped with a biochip transponder, which helps a farmer meticulously track their herd's location and health status. Or, it could be something as familiar as your car, using built-in sensors to alert you the very second your tire pressure drops too low. The sheer variety of applications here is just incredible. But here is perhaps the absolute most fascinating part of this whole concept. All of this data transfer happens without requiring human-to-human or human-to-computer interaction. I like to call this the invisible hand of the IoT. All of this heavy lifting, the data collection, the transfer, the constant 24/7 monitoring, it all happens completely in the background. The devices are doing the talking, so we don't have to.
So why does this invisible communication matter so much? Well, let's look at the business value. Organizations across a huge variety of industries are heavily relying on the IoT to operate more efficiently, to better understand their customers, deliver enhanced customer service, improve their internal decision-making, and ultimately just increase the overall value of their business. And for you as a consumer,
This means the businesses you interact with daily can anticipate your needs faster. That background efficiency directly translates to the seamless, enhanced customer service you experience in your own everyday life.
All right, part 2, the how, inside the IoT ecosystem. Let's look at the exact flow of data within this ecosystem. Think of it kind of like a lightning-fast digital relay race. Step 1. Web-enabled smart devices use their embedded systems, things like processors, sensors, and communication hardware, to collect data from their environment. Step 2. These devices share that sensor data by connecting to an IoT gateway or another edge device. Step 3. That collected data is either sent all the way up to the cloud to be analyzed, or sometimes it's analyzed locally right there at the edge. And finally, step 4, the devices act on the information they've acquired, from environmental collection to analysis and right back to action, all happening in fractions of a second.
Look, Ma, no humans! This phrase serves as a great reminder of the point we made earlier. Sometimes, these related devices communicate directly with each other and act on the information they get from one another. The devices do almost all of the work entirely without human intervention. Now, don't get me wrong, humans are still involved. We can interact with the devices to set them up initially, give them new instructions, or access the analyzed data. But the day-to-day, moment-to-moment functioning of the ecosystem, that happens entirely on its own.
Moving right along to part 3, the why now. Technologies powering the boom.
So the crucial point here is that the fundamental idea of the Internet of Things has actually been around for quite a long time. So why is it suddenly booming today? Well, our source text points to recent advances across 5 distinct technologies, starting with number 1, low-cost, low-power sensor technology. For a really long time, the physical hardware required was simply way too expensive and power-hungry to put into everyday objects. But today, highly affordable and incredibly reliable sensors are everywhere, and this single shift is making IoT technology practically and economically possible for a vast majority of manufacturers around the world.
Second is connectivity and network protocols. Over the years, a massive host of network protocols for the internet has been developed and standardized. This makes it incredibly easy and seamless to connect those new affordable sensors directly to the cloud and to other things, ensuring highly efficient data transfer. It's basically the reliable digital highway system that the entire IoT relies on.
The third enabling technology is cloud computing platforms. There's been a massive increase in the availability of cloud platforms recently. This enables both enterprise businesses and everyday consumers to access the heavy-duty infrastructure they need to scale their IoT usage up. And best of all, they can access all this computational power without actually having to buy and manage the servers, the cooling systems, or any of the physical hardware themselves. Fourth on our list is machine learning and analytics. And this brilliantly illustrates a fascinating feedback loop in the tech world. With recent advances in machine learning and access to the incredibly varied and vast amounts of data securely stored in the cloud, businesses can gather analytical insights much faster and far more easily. The emergence of these allied technologies pushes the boundaries of the IoT forward, and in return, the immense amount of data produced by the IoT feeds and improves those exact same machine learning technologies.
Finally, the fifth technology powering this boom is conversational artificial intelligence, or AI. Recent advances in neural networks have brought natural language processing directly to IoT devices. Just think of the digital personal assistants you probably use all the time, like Alexa, Cortana, or Siri. Giving these devices a voice made the Internet of Things highly appealing, wonderfully affordable, and incredibly viable for everyday home use by regular people, not just engineers.
So we've unpacked the definition, the data flow, and the technologies powering this incredible invisible network, which leads us to a final, slightly provocative thought for you to take away today. Take a second and look around your living room, your car, or your workspace. How many IoT devices are you already interacting with today? The invisible network is right there, quietly collecting, transferring, and acting on data to make your world more efficient. I really hope this explainer has empowered you to view your own connected environment with fresh eyes and a much deeper understanding.
We're diving straight into the dual power of modern connectivity. We're going to break down how the underlying principles of connectivity are totally transforming our physical world on one hand, and then completely redefining our digital consumer relationships on the other. So here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at connecting the physical world through the Internet of Things, or IoT. And second, connecting human audiences through digital marketing. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, Real-World IoT Applications. Take something as basic as a light bulb, right? Through IoT, smart lighting transforms it into this highly controllable, data-driven utility. Just by connecting your everyday bulbs and battens to Wi-Fi, you can turn them on and off remotely, or literally just by using your voice with other connected devices. But it goes way farther than just flipping a switch. You can set specific usage schedules, dial in the exact brightness you want, and this is the really cool part, easily monitor your power consumption. It takes a simple switch and turns it into an intelligent system that's gradually coming into common usage in our daily lives.
Okay, think about this for a second. We've all been there. You drive into one of those massive, concrete, multi-story car parking facilities. It's huge, it's confusing, and finding an open spot feels a bit like winning the lottery. So how on earth do facility managers actually regulate occupancy and parking coverage in a place like that? It's an incredibly hard, frustrating problem for both the operators and the drivers.
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. Among the many great examples of IoT applications is the solution to that exact parking nightmare. Facility managers use IoT sensors to accurately count the number of cars that have driven into the facility and the number that have driven out. And even better for us drivers, specific IoT devices can actually pinpoint the exact location where you parked your car. So you're literally never lost in a parking garage again. It's a perfect example of technology actively removing daily friction. Section 2, medical fridges save lives. Now, while smart lighting and parking are, fantastic for convenience and efficiency, IoT goes far beyond that into applications that are quite literally a matter of life and death. Think about the massive stakes involved in medical storage. Vials of life-saving vaccines and delicate medicines can easily spoil if they aren't kept at the exact correct temperatures. The margin for error is basically zero. And honestly, medical refrigerators just cannot be monitored manually throughout the entire day, especially in person. It's logistically impossible to have a human checking a thermometer every single minute. So the crucial takeaway here is that medical fridges make a grand entry onto the IoT examples list because they solve this critical vulnerability. By placing IoT sensors inside these fridges, they can be monitored remotely, 24/7. If a temperature fluctuates even a little bit, an alert goes out and the temperature can actually be changed remotely as per the requirement. This isn't just a neat tech trick. It ensures strict regulatory compliance and guarantees patient safety by stopping spoilage before it even happens. Okay, so we've seen how connectivity transforms hardware and physical spaces, right? But let's shift gears for a minute. What happens when we take this same incredible power of digital connectivity and apply it not to objects, but to human beings? This bridges us from the Internet of Things straight into our second pillar, how businesses strategically connect with all of us through digital marketing. Section 3, Digital Marketing Fundamentals. Because today's consumers are highly reliant on platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Snapchat, marketing has basically evolved to meet us exactly where our attention already is. It's absolutely essential that brands are active across these accounts. Marketing teams use these channels strategically to distribute paid ads and sponsored content, segmenting users so those ads pop up directly on the feeds of specific target audiences. They target by location, job title, interests, age, the whole shebang. But it's also organic, right? They promote products to their followers, and crucially, they interact. Chances are, if you follow a brand, you've bought from them in the past. So answering customer service questions right there on social media is a fantastic way to ensure continued engagement and cultivate some real positive experiences in customer loyalty. Section 4, Harnessing Influence and Email. Now, beyond a brand's own social profiles, influencer marketing is another incredibly effective way to harness digital channels. Instead of building an audience from scratch, brands partner with celebrities, popular sites, or individuals considered experts in their field. The real key here is shared values. By partnering with influencers who share similar values to the brand, companies can authentically reach those influencers' dedicated followers with branded content and special offers. It's essentially borrowing established trust. And finally, how do they bring the whole thing home? Well, email marketing campaigns let organizations stay connected with prospects and customers over the long haul. Picture this journey. You interact with a few branded touchpoints, maybe you browse a site or click an email offer. The brand then sends you a totally customized newsletter or offer based on your past shopping history, maybe 10% off the exact items you've been eyeing or free shipping. That highly targeted, connected email is very often the final nudge that ultimately brings about a conversion and a sale. So from the smart bulbs in your hallway and the sensors in the local parking garage, all the way to the targeted ads on your Instagram feed and customized offers in your inbox, we are living in a deeply connected web of data and communication. I want to leave you with this one provocative thought to ponder.
How many connected IoT devices and targeted digital marketing touchpoints have you already interacted with today without even realizing it? The scale of our connected world is massive, unseen, and honestly, entirely fascinating.
We're unpacking something that literally impacts almost every single purchasing decision we make. We're going to dive into the core pillars of digital marketing, and we'll do it by following a relatable consumer right down their path to a purchase. We're talking about how modern brands capture our attention, hold it, and ultimately guide us right to their checkout carts. Let's get right into it. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering 1, the buyer's journey, 2, mastering content marketing, 3, SEO and getting found first, 4, paying for placement with PPC, 5, the power of affiliates, and finally, 6, the move to mobile. Section 1, the buyer's journey. Okay, before we even touch the digital tools, we really have to look at the psychology. Every single purchase flows through 3 distinct steps. First step, you've got the awareness stage. That's when a buyer actually realizes they have a need. Next is the consideration stage, where they figure out a course of action. And finally, step 3, the decision stage, where they actually decide on a product. Think about it like this. You're packing your gym bag and boom, you realize your sneakers are falling apart. Right there, you're in the awareness stage. You know you need new shoes. You start considering your options, and eventually you pull the trigger on a specific pair. Section 2, mastering content marketing. So how do proactive marketers actually intercept you during those 3 psychological stages? Well, modern marketing isn't just about pushing a product anymore. It's all about providing real value. Let's say an activewear company creates a video or an article comparing the features you need in a running shoe versus a strength training shoe. They're proactively answering your questions right when you're in that consideration stage. Or maybe they put out a guide on popular shoes and their price points. By educating you, they're guiding you, and that guidance builds massive trust, which makes you way more likely to buy from them. The best part? It's often way less expensive than traditional ads, and it generates a ton of leads. Section 3, SEO, getting found first. But here's the catch. Brilliantly written content means absolutely nothing if you can't find it when you search Google for those new gym shoes, right? That's where search engine optimization comes in. When you're researching shoes, you're probably going to click on one of the first 3 results on Google. Brands know this, so they optimize their content for user experience and make sure the technical backend of their site is flawless. This lets search engine crawlers easily find and index their article, pushing it right up to those highly coveted top spots. It's basically structuring your digital presence so algorithms naturally want to recommend you. Section 4, paying for placement, PPC. Now, if organic reach through SEO is taking a bit too long, marketers can essentially just buy their way to the top. Unlike SEO, where you're optimizing for crawlers organically, pay-per-click, or PPC, is paid advertising where brands bid on specific keywords. If you bid high enough for best gym shoes, your ad is going to pop up at the very top of Google or Microsoft Bing, and you just pay a fee every time someone clicks it. Oh, and you can also use banner ads on websites, which usually just have set prices. It's a fantastic direct way to guarantee visibility, trading the long-term investment of SEO for immediate traffic. Section 5, the power of affiliates. What if our athletic brand wants some outside voices to hype up their shoes to totally new audiences? Enter affiliate marketing. It's basically a massive referral program. You team up with outside individuals or companies, and in exchange for promoting your product, they get a commission from every sale tied to their efforts. It's brilliant because it cuts down upfront costs and totally outsources the heavy lifting of promotion to people who already have an established, trusting audience. There is a trade-off here, though. By using affiliates, you are literally putting your brand's reputation in someone else's hands. If an affiliate uses shady tactics or misrepresents your product just to score a quick sale, it's your brand that takes the hit. Because of this, you absolutely have to monitor and track these campaigns extensively to make sure those outside voices are actually aligning with your core values. Section 6, the move to mobile. Finally, we have to talk about the overarching platform where all of these strategies, content, SEO, PPC, affiliates, are actually happening. By 2024, the number of mobile shoppers is expected to surge to roughly 187.5 million users. That is a massive audience. We aren't just browsing on desktops anymore. Our phones are basically our primary shopping malls now. With this massive shift, your strategy has to adapt. Mobile marketing means blending text messages, social media, email, push notifications, and dedicated mobile apps. And let me tell you, the bar is incredibly high. Consumers expect a completely seamless and user-friendly experience. A mobile app can't just be a clunky version of your website. It has to be a fully functional one-stop shop.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. We've traced the buyer from the moment they realize a need, right through the content that educates them, the ads that target them, and finally to the phone in their hand. So, considering the undeniable dominance of mobile, how will you adapt? How will you optimize your digital toolkit to seamlessly intercept consumers during their mobile buyer's journey? It's a huge challenge, but one every modern brand has to figure out. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep an eye on the digital marketing tactics you interact with every single day.